This is my first sighting ever of this new Styx cubs. Isn't that amazing? So very exciting. We've got one Styx female with her 2 cubs and 1 Birmingham boy. Now I can't really move around. Oh, another lion. Just arrived. Who's that? Mfumo. Is that you, old boy? Looks like it could be Mfumo. I wondered what she was looking at. Yes, it's Mfumo. You're far from Djuma at the moment. So we're just outside the Cheetah Plains Lodge. So now we've got 2 Birmingham boys. I'm not sure who the second one is. Sleeping. And he doesn't know that there's another one coming. Could we get a bit of a lion argy-bargy? Fast asleep. And there's Mfumo. He's going to sneak up. Or is he going to be a lazy lion? Oh, no, he's still moving. You can definitely see them. She's seen him as well. It is very exciting to see cubs. A late Christmas present for everyone. Sniff, sniff, sniffing around. Oh, this could be really interesting to see what happens next. What are you up to, Mr. Mfumo? Oh, there we go. Smelling urine. Phlegm grimacing. Sometimes he's contemplating. What should I do next? Should I go up to them? I think he's just crossed from Nkoro. This could be very, very interesting, especially if the second male awakes with a bit of a fright. That is definitely Mfumo, yes. The authority. He's got a bit of a sinister look about him today. Now, Roger's wondering, would the Styx Lioness interact differently with Mfumo as compared to the Nkahumas? I wouldn't say so. I think they have spent enough time with him. You must remember these male lions move massive distances between the different prides. I wonder which male the other male is. Could it be Nena or Ntsugu? It doesn't look like Tinyo. See, have a look at his lip. No, it doesn't look like Tinyo. So it's either Nena or Ntsugu. A bit easier to see if he stands up, I think. The little cub's very thirsty. Still looking quite fluffy. Sorry guys. As one station with Ngala, a second Birmingham has arrived. Wrong radio, talking into the wrong radio. Second Birmingham male has arrived with Ngala and CP. Oh, there's a nice little bit of light coming through, filtering through. Standing by, just one station here. Now, he might have possibly been lying up just a little bit away and we didn't see him. So the other male could know he's here. He is looking a little hungry. I wonder where the rest of the pride are. The other two ladies. You can see the adult females have recovered quite a bit from the mange. There is still a bit of sort of bare patches around the head particularly. But the cubs are looking very healthy. Now, we can still see these cubs are very young. They're still quite dark, and you can see the little spots there. And the consulting detective says that one cub is so much darker than the other. Well, he is a little bit darker. It might just be the angle we're sitting at as well. When they get up, it might change, but it does look to be quite a bit darker than the other. Can you see what Mfumo's up to there? So unfortunately, we can't really risk moving the vehicle at the moment. We're right on the edge of the signal area. Remember, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or questions at WildEarthTV if you want to ask us any questions about these incredible big cats in front of us. I want to see the cubs stand up. They're still quite young. I'm not sure exactly how old they are. It'll be a bit easier to see when they stand up. I reckon they must be 3 months maybe already, maybe a bit older. But this is my first sighting of them. Well, Cheetah Plains certainly has been producing excellent sightings recently. I can't see what Mfumo's up to. Yeah, I think he might have lain down behind some bushes. Now, we can actually see how close we are to the lodge here. Oh. Graham is wondering, do all cats purr? Leopards, lions, and cheetahs? No, they don't. The only one of those three that can purr is a cheetah. So the big cats with the modified voice box or modified bones in their throat are unable to purr, but they can roar. Cheetah have a solidified bone. And the proper name for it is the hyoid apparatus. And in big cats like lions and leopards, the bone has actually become cartilaginous. It's elastic. Whereas in the smaller cats that purr, that bone is solid, so they're unable to roar. They're unable to roar or soar. Now, most members of the Panthera genus, which is the big cats, Felis is the smaller cats, are able to roar. So jaguars, tigers, leopards, lions. I'm trying to see if I can spot Mfumo, but he's just behind that tree. All roll over. Barbara is wondering, is Mfumo a danger to the cubs? Not all male lions are dangerous to cubs, but especially if they get into an argument or around a carcass, a cub can get a swat from the massive side plate-sized paw. But generally, if they're born to the coalition, Mfumo is no threat to them directly as a nomadic lion would be that would kill them immediately. Oh, little stretch. Oh, big stretch. But still not stopping the suckling. Such a beautiful, calm evening. And what a way to start. Oh, the sunset safari. We were looking for Krula, but when I got the call that these guys were lying right next to the Cheetah Plains Lodge, we dashed down here. Now, I wonder if Cheetah Plains has got any more surprises in store for us today. Now, when I say it's very close to the lodge, if you go off to the left here, here we go. Then you can see one of the rooms and a director's chair on the balcony. There we go. So you could even sit and have a drink while watching the lions. But I can't see. As I said, we're right on the edge of our signal area, so I don't want to move the vehicle at all because we might lose the picture. But I really wonder what Mfumo's up to. I can't see anything. Maybe if I take my binoculars and look through the bush. Is he still moving towards us? Or has he got lazy on the way? So literally in the one spot I can't see anything. How very inconsiderate of Mr. Mfumo. Yes, and I'm not sure who that is. It's either Nena or Mtsogo. These cubs haven't even lifted their head. They've just been suckling since the moment we arrived. Oh, I'm too nervous to move the vehicle. Oh, biting flies. You think you can see him, Vim? Vim, there we go. Well spotted, Vim. He's directly behind that weeping wattle, and he has, looks like he has laid down. He's not up and on the move anymore. Oh, poof, there we go, head flat. Okay, well, we're going to try slightly maneuver ourselves. Maybe we can still get a picture where we can maybe have a little better look at the cubs. So while we do that, let's go see what the mad lady who's lost her red hat now is up to. Well, there's been a bit of movement here. Mom's rolled over slightly. We still haven't had a really good look at the little cubs. They're still very much focused on suckling. Little growls at each other. Now, I wonder where the other two lionesses are. Now, they've been moving around quite a bit recently. We even had them on Djuma, which is unusual. But, well, I suppose not unusual. It is right towards the edge of the northern edge of their territory. They do tend to stick to the southern areas of the northern Sabi Sands, southern and eastern areas. Now, has anyone managed to work out Which Birmingham boy that is, oh, I'm not sure. I can tell you for sure it's a male lion. Which of the four? I can tell you it's not Mfumo, because he's lying over there with a big hole in his face. And it's not Tinyo, so it's either Nena or Tsugu. Now, he was snoring a little bit earlier. We could hear him snore. Now, Liz thinks it's Ntsogo, or he used to be called Blondie, because for those of you wondering, Utsogo means gold. He had a very light mane, but the problem with young male lions is the older they get, the darker their manes become. Cubs are still tucking in. Hello, Ruth in Costa Rica. Ruth would like to know, do all the Birmingham boy male lions have names, and what do they mean? Yes, well, we did name them. So Liz thinks that could be Utsugu, which means gold. Mfumo, who's got the hole in his face, it means the authority. And he's generally the most aggressive in our interactions that we've seen them in. Nena means warrior. Who am I forgetting? Tuku, Nena, Tinyo, which means tooth, and he's got a split lip, and you can just see his canine through the split in the lip on his right-hand side. But generally, on Djuma, we see Tinyo and Utsugu more than we see Nena and... Mfumo and Tinyo we see more often than Nena and Utsugu, who seem to spend a bit more time further to the south or to the east or to the north. It's been a long time since I've seen all four of them together. I saw 3 of them together not that long ago, but not all 4. Now, I've heard over the radio that Cheetah Plains has got another surprise in store for us after we leave the Styx Pride. We'll definitely come back to them later and drive. We can't really miss them. It's the only road out of here is straight past them. Well, Rebecca's friend Cara, who's visiting us from the big concrete jungle of Johannesburg, would like to know, isn't it strange to see them suckling in the middle of the road? Well, to the lions, it's not really a road. It's just a big game path. So it is not unusual to see lions on roads. Lions and leopards actually quite often... Ooh, they're growling at each other. Bottom in the air, no, down again. So lions and leopard are often found on roads, and they often walk down roads. Now, a lot of the road networks are placed in areas where there would have been a big game path, and so the roads are specifically designed to put you in areas where you're more likely to find animals. And also, especially during the summer months when there's lots of dew and wetness around, quite often lion and leopard will choose to walk down a road rather than get wet. Definitely not as vocal as the Nkahuma cubs, but that's probably because there's less of them, so less arguing, only 2 of them, and there's enough teats. When there's more cubs, there can be quite a bit of competition over suckling spots, and you get those incredible vocalizations. Hello, Ellen from Arkansas. Ellen would like to know, how many hours a day will a lion cub suckle? Well, it all depends on whether there's meat around, Ellen. So I wouldn't say they suckle more than an hour or two a day. And they'll suckle less if there's a carcass around and fresh meat for them to eat. Now, lion cubs will suckle a lot longer than leopards. Lions will generally suckle till about 6 months. At 6 months, the female's mammary glands will stop producing milk. With those leopards, it's much, much younger. At about 3 months, they will stop producing milk. Now, if any other females in this pride had cubs, this female would allow them to suckle. Lions practice allo-suckling. Now, being a social creature, it makes sense. And quite often you'll find that the lionesses, their estrous cycles will sync up. So more than one lioness will often have cubs at the exact same time. And that is to take pressure off the different females so they can move and lactate between multiple females. That is not always the case, of course, but it does happen quite a bit. So lions are, oh, there we go, finally, heads up. Ear scratch. Let's see how full a little tummy is. It's got an itchy head. No, straight back in. Hello, Billy in Texas. Billy would like to know, do the Styx cubs' ears look particularly tatty for their age, or could it be some mange? Oof, they're getting grumpy with each other. Oh, now, Billy, I don't think their ears look particularly tatty. You must remember we are in the wet season now, so there are a lot more biting flies. So you'll notice a lot of the animals' ears will look a lot worse during the rainy season than the wet season because of those stable flies. Okay, I'm gonna take a chance for him. I'm gonna try and reverse slightly. Just to keep our antenna high. There we go. Okay, there we go. We found a little spot. And we can just make out the face of the cubs between Mom's legs there. Thirsty, thirsty little guys. Now, as a lot of you know, that the last litter of Styx cubs, they all died from mange. Or probably not only mange, but could have been a lot of other factors. And of course, we didn't interfere. And even if these ones were to contract mange, again, we wouldn't interfere. Now, mange is a natural part of the environment out here. It's as much as the lions and leopards control the numbers of the impala and zebra and buffalo. There's something you've got to control the numbers of the lions. So things like white muscle disease, mange, infanticide, natural mortalities from other predators are all part and parcel of the African bush. Now, I think at this age, they would already be showing a lot more sign of mange, but even if they do have a bit of mange, the rain should keep it in a sort of manageable zone that they probably will survive even if they have got mange. Okay, Vim, what do you think? Should we move along? There's another surprise on Cheetah Plains waiting for us. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Well, before we go quickly, Dina wants to know, how long do the cubs have spots for? Now, of course, when lion cubs are born, the females will often leave them hidden, so they do have a few little spots. And Dina's wondering, how long do they have them for? Just have a look at her leg. I'm going to try to see if She might still... There we go, on the bend over there. There we go. You can see some remnant spots. So they'll actually hold those remnant spots throughout their life, and it's more noticeable in certain lions than in others. It all just depends on the individual. Like some males have darker manes than others. Okay, we're going to go. There we go. The cubs are up and away from the mother, not suckling at the moment, and unfortunately it does look like they still do have a bit of mange, particularly the one on the right. You can see that dark patch around the eye. We couldn't see their faces clearly earlier, so it was difficult to say, but again, with the rain it should be okay. Giving themselves an evening bath. And the rest of the lions are very, very stationary. Lily's wondering, do we know the genders of the cubs yet? Lily, I didn't get a good look, and this is only the first time I've ever seen them was today, so no, we don't know the genders just yet. Good cleaning. There we go. You can see that little bit of that scraggly around the eye. And hopefully, with the rainy season here, they will get over the mange. And hopefully these two make it to adulthood. They are still cute little things. Lion cubs. Probably about 3.5 months old now, maybe a bit closer to 4. Hello, Melanie in Canada. Melanie would like to know if a lion is found dead, does anyone take away the carcass to do a necropsy on the carcass? Yes, they do. It will go to the state vet, the government vet. They will do it. Even if you just find a carcass, even if it's been killed by males, it's very seldom that they get nice carcasses to check on things like parasites and liver flukes, and just generally do a bit of research on. Now, the main reason for that is that sometimes, well, lions will eat their own. They will cannibalize a carcass, or hyenas will definitely eat it and scatter it about. So it's very seldom that anyone does get the chance to get a full skeleton or a full body to work with. Now the males are still fast asleep. There's, I think we decided, who's it? Msugo lying next to the road, and Mfumo lying about 30 meters away in the grass. Let's just have a look in this jackalberry. You see what I'm seeing on the right there? I just want to see if there's anything in that nest. It could be a hooded vulture nest, just from where it's positioned. So hooded vultures almost exclusively nest in jackalberries, but it looks like a big predatory nest. It's very scruffy, but I can't see there's no one at home there. We'll have to keep checking that one. Here we go. Now, Hassan is wondering, would these little cubs be under threat from this male lion? No, and I mean, it's a funny one. So little cubs are always under threat from a male lion, but generally when they're around a carcass, or if they irritate them, they might get a smack. But in terms of seeking out to kill them, these guys are quite safe. They were sired by the group of male lions called the Birmingham Boys, who are dominant males in this area. So they are under their protection. Okay, we're going to have to move on shortly. Alright, so I've got a question from Lisa. I didn't quite hear it properly. And it was something about lions passing on immunities. Now, Lisa's wondering if a mother lion survives mange and develops an immunity to it, can she pass it on to her cubs through her milk? Lisa, mange is not a disease, or I suppose it is a disease, but it's a mite. It's an arachnid. It's a little arachnid that burrows either into the skin or into the hair follicle, causing it to fall out. Then those mites deplete the lion's iron count, so you can't develop immunity to mange. It's just one of those things. It generally goes away during wetter periods and will come out more in drought. So it's not something you can develop immunity to. Sorry. iPhone 1 station, yeah. Copy, you're more than welcome. Okay, so as I was saying, so you can't really develop immunity to mange, but other diseases, again, the immunity will not be passed down through milk. It will actually have to be passed down via birth in the genetic code. So that's why sometimes animals dying is not a bad thing. They obviously didn't have the right genetic material to survive. There's a reason, there's that cliche, the survival of the fittest, and the fittest comes from the weakest dying. Okay, well, we're going to leave these cubs. It is getting a little bit dark, and they are still quite young, so no lights on this lot. And there's some other people who are trying to get in here before it gets dark. So we're going to move on, and Taylor seems to have found herself at a little waterhole, so let's go have a look.